Hi everyone, this is a great video I made this morning, but the sound was off on my mic, so I'm going to do a voiceover. So this is an opener for the upper chest, upper back, neck, occipital area, shoulders, and we're using 2 yoga blocks. You can use yoga blocks, or if you don't have any, you can augment on your own. I'm going to be teaching it in an advanced style, and if you would like to still perform, even if you're not doing an advanced practice, you can augment and do it the way that you like to. If you don't have blocks, you can figure out what you can use on your own. But we're going to work together here to open up the chest. So first we'll take the first yoga block and place it down. We'll place it the medium setting horizontally, place it on the ground, and the other block is going to go on the flat setting below where your head will be. You'll sit down and place that block right underneath the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. Knees are bent, feet are on the floor, and find the place where your head can go back onto the block. Open things up, elbows bent. Readjust so that you're comfortable. If you don't need the block, you can let the head go back. And if you like, you could even lift up and take the block on a higher setting if your back feels much more open. Or of course, you could have it on a lower setting as well. Just be sure the base of your throat sets back and that you actually have optimal cervical curve in your spine. You can bend the elbows, lift up the chest. If you have a lot of space, you could extend your arms overhead and even your legs, but that's only if it feels incredibly comfortable with what you're doing. After breathing into the back body and moving through, start to bend the knees. Bring the arms down first, hands to chest. Then when you come back, bring the base of your throat back. Do not lead with your chin and lead with your chest. Very gently press your hands into the ground, lift up, sitting bones back. Take the blocks, place them under each of your hands close to your body. Again, sitting bones back. Or if that's too much for you, you can sit on the block with the knees bent. That's too much to be on the ground. Otherwise, on the ground, moving back, lifting up through the low back, lifting up through the sternum, lifting up through the chest, blocks close to the torso, up and forward. This allows you to extend through the side body from the waistline up through the underside of the arms. And then once you get into that position, you can start to move the blocks forward to extend yourself out. Blocks go lower. If this is really easy for you, you could even place the elbows and the forearms on the blocks, but that's only if you can still have a lift underneath your upper arms, underneath your armpits. Breathe. Keep that lift in the waistline, keep that lift in the side body. Come on up, reach the arms up so you have that lift up through the waistline, up to the fingertips. Inhaling, then exhale. Hands go behind you. Place your hands in downward dog-like hands. Place the feet on the ground. Lift up through the chest and base of the throat goes back, and we'll come into reverse table. So again, spine is aligned, breathing here. Then we'll walk forward and go into Malasana, squat, placing the sitting bones on a block, hands together. Breathing here, opening up, breathing across the sides, front, back of the chest, upper back. We're opening up. You can turn the palms up, and now we'll be doing a little pranayama. Every time you inhale, feel like you're extending from the shoulders through the entire torso, down through the hips. Every time you exhale, feel like that's anchoring down through the sitting bones, down through the feet, feeling your body settling down. Inhaling, feel yourself extending through the entire torso, expanding. Exhale, allow yourself to soften here now. Breathing. Now we're going to come to standing for forward fold. Place the blocks in front. And what we're doing is we're going to lead with the heart, lift up with the low back. Take the fingertips down to the ground. You can bend your knees or have your legs straight. If you can, you could place the block so that your head could go onto the block. If you feel pretty flexible, you could just have one block and bring your head down, or you could bend your knees a lot and have the two blocks nice and tall. Just play with where you could possibly be to rest your head on the block or blocks. Maybe lift up through your shoulders, extend your arms overhead, interlace the hands, and lift up through your knuckles. So we have this steadiness through the feet. Big breath in, reaching the arms overhead. Exhale, arms down by the side of the body. So we're opening up through the chest. Big breath in, all around. Exhale. We're going to take a block and use this for the head. We're about to do a very, very deep shoulder opener off to the side. What's really key is that we spread the fingers, draw the shoulder into the socket so that you feel like it's not only drawing from the palm into the elbow, into the shoulder, into the center of the chest, but that you're also pressing out from the center of the chest out through the arm, and there's a deep connection. You're not just stretching your arm out and pulling away from the shoulder. Everything is deeply connected. We'll start on the right side with the right arm out. Fingertips start on the ground just so you can get a lift. You don't want to drop your shoulder. You want to have fingertips on the ground, lift up through the palm, lift up through the elbow, lift up through the head of the shoulder and draw in. Then you can place the hand on the ground and stretch out, but you still keep that clear connection from the hand to the center of the chest. Then we'll start to roll. You can move the block so that it goes right underneath the side of the head. As we roll on to the side, once we get our shoulder reset, we can start to place the head on the block and then maybe bend your left knee. Keep having that feeling like lifting up through the palm, lifting up subtly through the inner elbow, through the upper right shoulder. And then you may even be able to go so deeply that you even bend your other knee, your right knee as well, both feet on the ground, breathing. So we're breathing, opening up through the chest, opening up through that shoulder, not feeling like you're just pulling on the shoulder, feeling like it's deeply connected, and you're bringing the base of the throat back and you're getting an enormous shoulder girdle opening. With an exhale, we'll unwind. Again, being careful to have a little bit of a lift through the front inner shoulder, and we'll go to the other side. Oh, a little bit of cobra first. Hands on the ground, curl up. Great. And then other side. I'm just going to turn around so you can see better. We'll start to extend the left arm out. First, fingertips. Again, don't just extend your arm out. Fingertips on the ground. So I'll show you here. Fingertips on the ground. Lift up through the palm, up to the elbow, into the shoulder socket. Don't drop it. Draw in. And then keeping that, we place the hand on the ground and start to extend out. Again, keeping that little lift through the inner left deltoid, inner left shoulder lifts up. We never drop it, ever. Then we roll onto the left side. We move the block so that our cervical spine, our neck is in line. And we just find our way. We see where this is. If you feel really open here, you can start to open and bend your right leg and the knee bent foot on the floor open. If you still feel like you can still go further, you could bend the other leg, the left leg as well. Again, base of the throat moves back. You're opening primarily from the bottom tips of the shoulder blades up to the sternum. Base of the throat is back. Breathing. This is an incredibly deep shoulder opener, so please do so with care. Breathing. unwind. And we'll come over into table pose, please. Inhale forward with the heart, hips up. Exhale, round.
Melt the heart.
Strong hands, melt the heart. Inhale, heart forward, hips back.
And then short downward dog.
And we're going to come up and back into a bear pose, short down dog. So you get this feeling of really setting the shoulders into the sockets, anchoring down through the four corners of the feet, spreading through the fingers, setting the shoulders. Body should feel settled, shoulders should feel really connected.
Fingertips to the
And
ground.
we'll go into forward fold, fingertips on the ground so you can suction up with the palms, the elbows, the shoulders, bend the knees. Inhale, reach up.
Breath in. Exhale, hands
together down in front of the heart.
We'll take the arms
open up to the shoulder girdle, really open the arms out to the side. What we're going to be doing is working with shoulder blades coming together, palms out, hands in front of the body, actively drawing from the palms into the area between the shoulder blades. And then from that area, we're going to draw in. We're not squeezing anything. We're just drawing in between the shoulder blades, kind of wiggle them up and down so you feel this movement. You may even go like in a little bit of a figure eight, one direction, then the other.
And lastly, into the shoulders, arms out.
Then place the hands out, draw from the palms into those shoulder blades again. So you're going right through the bone lines, and you can just do little mini circles back. The reason we go back is you want to feel like the inner deltoids are lifting up and back, up and back, up and back. And you're doing that deep from within the shoulder girdle.
From the center of your spine, if you can. Awesome. Arms down.
And we release the arms.
Big breath in, reach
Big
up.
breath in, flushing through the shoulder girdle.
Exhale, fold. Hands go underneath
forward
the
fold.
Front of the feet.
Here we're going to put the hands underneath the feet, front of the feet.
Sorry.
Lift up through the palms, even though the palms are underneath the feet. Lift up through the inner elbows, lift up through the armpits, drawing up.
Lengthen through the spine.
Shoulders move into the back plane of the body, and we soften. Breathing, lengthening the side body.
Hands behind the calf muscles. Lift your shoulders, draw in, lengthen.
If you'd like, you can place the hands behind the calf muscles, draw the calf muscles up, releasing the hamstrings more. Again, shoulders into the back plane of the body, lengthening down through the thoracic spine.
Hands behind the back.
You could even interlace the hands behind the back, lengthening it up through the shoulders.
From the shoulders
breathing.
Up to the knuckles. And then we'll inhale, rise
and
up.
Inhale, come on up. Big breath in.
Forward, reaching in and
reach
out.
all the way up. Hands in the front line of the body.
Exhale,
arms down by the side of the body.
We're going to go into lunge pose.
There, I'm checking my mic. It wasn't working.
Take your 2 blocks.
That's okay. Okay, now we're going to take the blocks and place them on the ground.
Right foot in front.
So Hanumanasana or runner stretch, actually Anjaneyasana. Anjaneyasana, excuse me. Left foot on the ground, knee relatively over the ankle, go into a nice deep lunge. I normally teach this with the toe tucked under, but what I'm going to do here is actually teach it with the foot in a cobra foot. Only do that if you feel like you can really engage and support yourself. If you need a little more support, please tuck your toes under on the back foot.
We'll start with fingertips.
You're going to take the hands onto the blocks, fingertips to start, so you can get this lengthening up through the low back, lengthening up through the heart. Then as we go down deeper, you can take the blocks underneath the hands, so the hands more in downward dog hands. You can move the blocks back, and this is where we're pressing in, almost like a down dog plank or a handstand, and you're pressing in to curl the bottom tips of the shoulder blades up into the center of the heart, so you get a huge back bend here.
Suggesting it, so to find something that works for you. While you're there, you can lift up through your back leg.
Big opening. If you want, you can even press through the top of the foot and even lift that back knee for a bit. Breathing.
All the way up through the heart and the base of the toes.
Opening.
Soft, so your neck is in line with itself. Yeah. Awesome. Then we'll come down. Knee comes down.
And knee on the ground. If it was up.
Scoot forward a little bit.
We're just going to take a Hanumanasana while we're here. Bow down.
Then we'll root down. Hug into the center of the pelvis, tuck the toes again.
Back toes tucked under.
As you bend your back knee, you can take one block and go over to the right side.
Oh, excuse me. We're not going to do that quite yet. We bend the front knee.
Wobbly up the edge of the mat.
You can place your right forearm on the block. Bend your back knee. Take the left hand to the outside of that outer left leg, or you could reach back for the foot,
Anchor as you draw
lifting
that
up
leg.
through the heart the whole time, base of the throat back. So nice big opening. This was something I thought of, and then I said, nope, no one's going to want that. So
instruction anybody's going to want. Let's do
backed out of that. There we go. You could take your forearm on the ground
and go down
opening
here.
out.
All right, then we're going to come back. Hanumanasana.
Now we go into Hanumanasana. Hands on the blocks. Lengthen it down. Now, since we've opened up so much through the shoulder girdle, actually your entire spine is ready for more of a back bend. So depending on where you are, you could be really high and bend your knee. That would be a nice, exciting kind of adventure. Or if you happen to go down, you can draw that left hip back more, lengthen through your waistline, maybe bring the arms or the forearms or the hands on the blocks. You could even go so far as to bend that back knee.
Press into the blocks, bend your back knee.
And see what you might get there.
And then
you might even be able to reach back for the foot in any regard, kind of play with that,
or just keep the hands on the blocks,
finding your way into a variation of Hanumanasana, Ekapada Rajakapatasana.
Hips opening.
Breathing.
Release.
And then carefully switch sides.
Carefully. Right leg in front. It's a lunge. Back toes tucked under. We have the block.
Again, Anjaneyasana. We could start with the toes tucked under. You could stay with the toes tucked under. Or you could switch it into that cobra foot.
Switch to and even when I do it, you feel like I let my heart go forward. I switch to a cobra foot.
If you do the cobra foot again, you need to really engage up to the feet, up into the hip flexor zone. Anchor back down.
Open up, melting in.
Use the blocks to press in, bring it back by your spine, press in, lift up to the heart, base of the throat back.
Lift up to
continue
the heart
moving here, opening.
A little more inner spiral there.
Breathing. Make sure you're finding ease here.
And then we come out of that, blocks forward, then the back knee, and play with.
Now we can go in.
Where we might want to.
Bending the back leg,
to the side,
twisting,
back with the
hand on the block.
Find those back
or you could go down, drop down to the forearm on the block if you prefer. Opening here.
And then again, that more reasonable
on the ground, like we did before.
Of the forearm on the block. Opening things up.
Keep working that lift, just like when the block was behind our shoulder blade in the very beginning, the first pose. Lifting up through the shoulder girdle, base of the throat back, lengthening through the top of the head, opening across the chest, breathing, toes spread.
Leads up to the next loop.
Deep breath.
Beautiful shoulder loop above. And then we'll come on out of that carefully.
Unwinding.
Hanumanasana, both blocks.
Hanumanasana could be runner's lunge high with the knee bent, hips back, heart forward, or if you have the capacity to do so, you could go down deeper. Inner spiral, that back leg, inner left thigh goes up towards the sky. Anchor that right hip, whether you're high or low in the pose. Lengthen through the waistline, so you come up and out of the back bend, extend the back bend.
And then again, just a little inner spiral. And then
if accessible, you could bend the knee,
wherever you
reach back.
See kind of what kind of play you have on this.
And reach back. Maybe touch the foot, maybe not. If you do touch the foot, you could do some sort of variation if that is appealing to you on this day.
Kind of see how it goes. Breathe. Wherever you are, just breathe. Carefully unwind from wherever you are.
And carefully unwind.
And we're going to go into table pose.
Set the blocks aside.
Melt the heart.
Place the hands with an exhale, melt between the shoulder blades.
Facing dog, so up and back a little bit.
Feet back, downward facing dog, walk it out. Have that nice lift underneath the armpits. Do not drop the head. We've just opened up the entire shoulder girdle, neck, cervical, spine area. You don't want to drop. Come into plank, down to cobra, hands back, claw the floor, open up into a great big cobra. Feel how open the chest girdle, the shoulder girdle, the chest, the upper back are. Downward dog. Settling in.
And forward fold.
And forward fold, walking forward.
In this forward fold, we can take the fingertips underneath.
Hands underneath the feet again. This time we'll go behind the heels, fingertips, getting that extra long length through the waistline. Armpits lengthening down. Bowing. Even if you have to bend your knees a lot, even if your hands are on the calf muscles, that's the same pose. Inhale, reach on up, big breath in.
Exhale, hands together
in front of the heart.
And then we'll just take mountain pose. standing.
Pausing here in
Breathe
mountain
into your
pose.
body. Feel from the feet all the way up
We're going to
to
find
the
mountain
spine,
pose
to
and
the
just find
heart,
our
out to
breath
the
here.
shoulders. Is
So
there more
arms out by the side of the
flow?
body. Feel like you're lifting up through the torso with your inhale. As you exhale, really landing down through the entire body,
Anchor
down
that
into
a
the
little
four
bit more
corners
here
of the
now.
feet. And just feel that expansion, each breath in, expanding up, out, down, front,
And then
back,
hands
sides.
together in front of the heart. Maybe
Exhale
feet a
in,
teeny tiny
hands
bit
together in front of
closer.
the heart.
Settle in.
Big
Both
breath
hug
in.
into the shoulder girdle and expand out. And just nice big inhale. Exhale here. Big breath.
Exhale. Big breath in.
Exhale.
Exhale.
Namaste.
Hope that feels great. Thanks for coming. Namaste. Thanks for sticking me with the wording over. Bye, guys.